What's up guys, it's Charles here to do a review for Rocket Punch Army. Today we have the X-Transbots Master Miniseries Survivalist Ollie, which is obviously wheelie. I'm sure you guys have seen a bunch of reviews already. There's ups and downs, there's people that hate it, people that love it if you check the forums. But it does have its issues, which I will go over. I know there's a couple of things you can do to fix it and make it a little bit better. I have chosen not to do any of that, just so you guys can see what it really is like. I am digging the Masterpiece style box, which has the gloss over the figure, just like a real Masterpiece would. And I like the back of the box here. It's very G1-ish. You got the little tech spec decoder thing, and I love the little gloss right over just that part of the figure. You'll see the other figures here are also glossed. And some of these figures are available already from X-Transbots. And here, off in the distance, is some Decepticons. So overall, cool looking box. We're going to go ahead and open it. Before I open it, I did want to show you, it does come with little seals right here. I did take this one off, obviously, to be able to review it. But just so you know, it should have two seals. That way you know it's brandy new. And here he is. If we look here, there's spots for the weapons, but they're not actually deep enough to hold them, so they're always going to be flopping around. I'll show you what I mean here. They don't actually go in. This doesn't actually clip in. It's a little weird. I don't know if mine was just vacuum formed incorrectly, but there you go. And you get this little baggie here, which has a little card and the instructions. I'll let you guys check out the card here. The card is unfortunately not plastic like the other third-party figures, but it's still nice and glossy and a nice card stock. So yeah, there it is. If you want to read that, you can go ahead and pause it. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and continue. And you got the little instruction booklet. Let's check this out here. I believe it's just like a two-color, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's orange and black print. It's a little confusing. There's a bit here. It's right here. And I don't know if they did it on purpose after they designed the figure. The figure does have a transforming issue. The way you see it here seems easy enough, but they leave out the rest of the figure, which is really the problem. But we'll get into that once we do the transformation. But yeah, there it is. So let's check out the figure itself. We got it right here in this tray. Very cool looking wheelie. I love the way it looks. Maybe a little gappy because I'm just not that great at transforming this. But it was giving me a lot of issues. There are things I want you to, look out for so that you don't end up messing up yours. And I think the big complaint with this has been the plastic quality. I will say the plastic feels like cheap, I guess. I don't know what the word is. It's not, but it's not really cheap. I've flexed the crap out of some of these plastic bits and nothing has broken. And that's due to me being impatient transforming. I've bent a lot of plastic parts. They don't break. They may stress a little bit. You get that white stress if you really overdo it, but you just go ahead and soak it in boiling water and it goes away. But do be careful, especially when bringing the nose in to transform them into a vehicle. If you're having issues with the nose, getting it to meet here, you do want to make sure that you are folding the correct part of the knee. There's two joints on the knee. So one is going to bring the nose closer. And also when you bring it in, if there's clearance issues, do take a look at how I have it transformed here. In case you're having any issues, you can look at this up close. And you'll see this crotch panel. Make sure that crotch panel is all the way down and not up when you bring these sides. That's one of the things I ended up bending almost at a 90-degree angle, and it's still there, and it's still firm. So whatever plastic they used, it's very soft but very, very resilient, and it handles a lot of abuse. So if that's a fear of yours, anything breaking, we can go ahead and set that aside due to my experience at least. If anybody else has broken anything out there, please let me know. But I've flexed a lot of plastic on this and it's just fine. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's just enjoy the vehicle mode, which is actually really nice. The arms here kind of stick out, but they could be like some big gigantic exhaust type things. You do get rolling wheels. However, don't expect them to be the spinny type where you just keep spinning them, but they do roll. The pin might be a little bit too tight on that. The fronts do roll a little bit easier, but the rears, like I said, they're pinned in. If they're a little too tight, they might not exactly roll, but who the hell's going to be rolling these on the ground anyway? But yeah, very, very good example of wheelie in his vehicle form. Now in vehicle form, you can attach his little gun right here to the top. You can push it in farther for it to hold very firmly, but I'm choosing not to do that at the moment. But yeah, so that's what he looks like with the little blaster. And the slingshot can also be put away back here. It's a little tricky to get to if you have big fingers like me, but it actually plugs right into the back right there where those squares are. All you do is push it in. I'm not going to, since it does have a really nice paint on it. I don't want to scratch it up, but you guys get the idea. It goes right back here and it plugs those two squares in the back. Overall, very nice. Don't really have too much complaints of it in vehicle mode. So we're going to go ahead and transform him and see what it looks like in robot mode. Alright, so this is the part I do have to stop my little sequence to show you, because there is clearance issues, okay? In the booklet it does show you to just fold these down underneath, but you'll see his shoulders get in the way. So how the hell did they want you to do that? So I don't know if that's why they decided to make it out of soft plastic so you can just flex the crap out of it. But this piece is held on by this little post. I don't know if it's clear to see this little slab here. That's it. Just that little slab is connected to that little joint there. So there's different ways you can do it, but they're all going to really pretty much flex. But I've found that making it here almost in vehicle mode kind of allows you to just slide it on by in the back. It still kind of sucks to have to do that, but you can go ahead and do that. It's still a little nerve-wracking to me, but there you go. Alright, so anyway, continuing on along. Alright, sorry guys, I have to stop again. This is another place where you have to be careful. I'd rather stop the sequence than have you guys break your expensive figures. This is not cheap by any means. It is a $60 figure. So yeah, right here on these sides is a little sliding mechanism for these parts to slide. They should slide not fairly easily, but you do want to make sure nothing's getting in the way. If you are having a lot of issues sliding it, just check everything. Be patient. It shouldn't have to require a lot of force. Like right here, it's requiring a lot of force. It's probably something wedged, but it'll free up if you're patient. Make sure nothing's in the way, nothing's, you know, just be careful, and you should be able to slide these in all the way like so. Alright, so that way this is able to clear the back. This little hook right here snaps right in the back there, like that. And here's a little other clearance thing. You can slide these two sides together after you bring this down, but the reason I did it beforehand is because it's a little easier to slide it when it's unfolded. But if you choose to do it, you can actually push them in here, because it's pretty much what you have to do, because the wheels peg into this little piece here right behind the actual tire. Another thing that I should have told you guys is the sliding mechanism. I did put some lubricant there. Always make sure if you use lubricant on plastic, it's a plastic safe lubricant. But I'll go ahead and slide it out a bit. So you can see it's not that much fun to transform this guy, but you'll see the end result is awesome. I just forgot to fold this little guy down. Always push from the center. You don't want to push from the fins right here, because they are molded in a very thin spot. They will just flex out of the way, but just be careful. Then you can bring this down and kind of have to futz with it a little bit, but that goes right by the wheel and the other one, and that's what holds this whole entire backpack on right here. And the very last bit is to take out the hands. They got little tiny panels. I mean, this is amazing how small these little things are. Again, be careful. Right, just take the hand out and do the same for the other side here. And this video is probably going to run longer than normal, because I do have to speak while I'm transforming it, which is something I decided I don't want to always do. But you kind of have to with this one. You got to be very careful. So there we got Wheelie, or Ollie. I'll go ahead and attach his little weapons here. By the way, his hands do open. They're not articulated individual fingers, but they are the set of 4 fingers articulated together. And there's a little bit of flash there that doesn't really let me put the slingshot in the right way. You can always cut that off and put that here. And again, this side, there's no flash, but it kind of doesn't really go in there. The handle's a little too big. But again, the fingers do open up, which allows you to grasp it regardless. So there he is, guys. And, you know, let's just admit it. It is beautiful regardless of all the little quirks and everything that this guy has. It is absolutely beautiful wheelie. Now, the issues in robot mode are the loose kind of legs. Don't really know what's really causing it. The ball joints are nice and tight on the leg. You can actually hear it creaking, and the legs do stay up, but it's like still a little wobbly. I think it's the spinning of the thighs here. I think that's what it is, the actual spinning motion of the thighs. I do believe, I don't know if it's Kuma Reviews, did a little fix video to put a little, what do you call it, nail polish on that little swivel thigh, and it really tightens things up. I'm just going to leave mine the way it is because it's really just for display. You got the nice little waist joint. You got the head can look up and down, side to side. You got the shoulders, arm, bicep swivel. You got the elbow. You have the hand and the fingers as I showed you. The hips. You got the upper thigh swivel. You got the knee, which is pretty limited unless you pop this section out. And then you get a little bit more freedom, but that looks kind of weird that way. It's really meant to be a cover for the back of the leg. And then you have the foot here and a little bit of toe articulation, but the other way that you would really want it. It's more for transformation. It doesn't actually flip up there. Of course, we can't finish this review without doing some scale comparisons, but I did a review of another third-party wheelie, which is this guy right here. This is the C80 Wheelie Survivalist, which they actually labeled it wheelie. I did a review on this. I remember finding it to be very awesome. I loved it. But now it kind of almost looks like a world of difference, almost as if this is a G1 type figure, which is kind of funny because this is heavy. This is a die-cast figure, but very nicely done. But this guy is the clear winner when it comes to accuracy. And here he is next to an early X-Transbots release, their version of Power Glide. And here he is with another X-Transbots release. This is a much more recent release. That's Crank right there. And they really do feel like they come from two different factories. The plastic on this feels a lot more solid and a lot harder. And they do really feel like they come from two different factories. You got the nice harder plastic on this guy. And here he is next to Grimlock in robot form. And of course we can't do it without the ever popular MP10. And just because I love the crap out of it, here's the KFC Citizen Stack, which towers over Ollie. And that pretty much brings us to the end where I will give you my final thoughts. I know the plastic feels a little thin and brittle, but like I said, I've flexed some of this plastic even at a 90-degree angle, and it still stays. That's why we're here to review stuff, so whatever we come across, we let you guys know. But if you're going to be doing minimal transforming or just having on display, this is the wheelie to get, honestly. This is beautiful. And this is the best we're going to have in a long time till someone else comes around and does something a little better. If you must have a very nice wheelie in your collection, this is the one to get. There's nothing better out there right now. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you want to know where to get this, click the link below. Until next time, guys, bye-bye.